Welcome everybody to the Nosebleeds podcast.
Or is it?
Or is it? It could be the Yawn Hour with Adam and Chris. I am Chris Witt, and with me as always is Mr. Adam Schmidt. Adam, how are you today, sir?
Fantastic. How about yourself?
A little tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little tired. Just had a little family birthday. Adam walked in on, so the podcast is getting started a little late. And found out apparently we cause a lot of yawns.
I think it was we yawn a lot.
Or do we yawn a lot?
I think
Is
that
that
was
it?
the I think that's at least that
Could
was
be.
the back pedal try to save that she was trying for.
Yeah, that was what she tried to get to after she called us the yawn hour. So shout out to Melinda Gullett.
That's right.
Um, I hope you're listening, and I hope we do a good job of not yawning
Yeah. And we're Y- it would be ironic if we could find out if she's yawning while she's listening to
while
this.
she's listening.
And there's a good shot.
I would love a video of her listening to the podcast.
Yeah. Yep.
This is going to be hard for me to talk about and not do.
It's in your head. It's so in your
The
head.
second you hear the word yawn, what is that? What is that?
You know what's crazy is I feel like it always like it's contagious yawning. Like once
Yeah,
somebody,
yeah.
but you've yawned a few times since
Twice
and I
already.
didn't.
Not a single one.
I feel like I always do that.
Yeah, I'm
Like I always
so
yawn
bad
when
about
people.
that. I'm so bad about it. And you have been fantastic.
I'm just lucky, I think.
All right, well done. So speaking of lucky, congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder
Yeah.
for getting lucky enough to have Tyrese Halliburton hit three threes in the first 8 minutes of game 7 of the finals. And then rupturing his Achilles. Is it
Yeah.
rupturing?
Yeah, I don't remember if it was rupturing or
All I know,
tearing, but
did you watch the slow-mo video
oh
of his calf like convulse
yeah.
before he fell? I told Parker he tore his calf muscle just because that's
Uh,
what I saw, like a convulsion and him go down. But now that I've seen that, now I know what a ruptured Achilles looks
it's
like.
all attached, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yep, that was really unfortunate. It was, it still felt like OKC was going to win, but to get to 7 games, for the Pacers to get that to 7 games was
Unbelievable.
impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And Tyrese had three threes in the first 8 minutes, and the Pacers had the lead and felt like it was going to be an incredible game.
mhm. And
And
even
then
after he went down, I kind of
they held in.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? They still have a chance to win because they've had to play without him the last couple years several times. I mean, he's been hurt before. And this Pacers team, just the way they play, they don't have to have like a superstar, so
No.
it's
Well, not anymore. I mean, their team is completely changed now because Halliburton's out for all of next year and
yeah,
Miles Turner just got traded.
right.
But what's the backup point guard's name?
TJ McConnell,
McConnell came in and was
he was awesome.
on fire.
The whole season, but it's definitely the whole playoffs and in the finals too. He was their bench was awesome. The Pacers bench was awesome in that
Yeah.
series.
Yep.
And yeah, it's that's why that's such a fun team to watch because we're so used to seeing, 3 stars on one team and
Mm-hmm.
you expect them to get to average, 60 to 70 points a game together, but the Pacers don't have that. Even Tyrese Halliburton had games where he, ended up with 12 points,
Yep.
and it's so
Yep.
I don't even know that he's superstar level.
No, I don't. He's not.
No.
He's got some kind of clutch gene or clutch factor
Hmm.
that's on him. He's not an everyday superstar.
All right.
Their best player is Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, probably. Yep. I say it's TJ McConnell. No, he's so fun, man. The energy he brings in though off the bench is
He
is
can
always really cool.
score in the crit, like for him to get to the paint and the ball somehow sneaks out of his hand and through three players and has the perfect rotation off the backboard, and it's impressive.
He's got an 8 to 10 foot jumper that he gets to all the time somehow,
Constantly.
even against bigger guys.
Constantly.
Yeah.
He hit two of them over what's that freakishly long guy for
Chet Holmgren.
yeah, over Chet Holmgren. I
Yeah.
want to say Chad. Chet.
It's close.
Chet Holmgren. Yeah.
Yeah.
Insane. Insane.
Yeah. But OKC's a really good team. They dominated the league this year.
Yeah.
They were from the beginning of the year, they were just so good. And so I mean they deserve to win. I like all their guys.
Hell
I
yeah.
love
Yeah.
Jalen Williams. I really like SGA a lot. Uh,
Dude, he's a straight up pro.
SGA.
Yeah.
Yes. I love him as like one of the faces of the league because he's
Yes.
you can see him talking in interviews. He's like he's
Yeah.
like he seems like a great teammate, a
Yeah.
good.
You think
Yeah, we're
do you
good.
think that the recording actually stops, or do you think that that recorded everything that we had going on?
I think it stopped, but it was like what 10 seconds?
Not even.
Not even 10
Less
seconds.
than 10 seconds.
So we're
I mean,
still
think about that. One, two, three, four, five. I feel like it was, yeah, pretty close.
maybe close to
Maybe,
10.
yeah, close to 10.
Yeah. But hey, we're back. We might just keep this minimized view.
Yeah, I'm not touching.
It's fine.
I ain't touching the
No,
computer.
no, no, me either.
No. Hey, producer. Hey, don't let that happen again.
Yeah,
All right, appreciate you. All right, he said we're good.
gotcha. Um, but yes, I totally agree with you. I think about that all the time, to be honest. I obsess about that a little bit sometimes, like watching athletes and how they speak. And I just have so much more respect for people
So
who just look like they've graduated from high school.
yeah, I had this conversation with a guy at work, and I think I've told this story on the podcast before. And we were talking, no, yeah, because it was, it's been a while ago, but it was back during the Seattle Seahawks when they won their Super Bowl, and I was talking about Richard Jefferson.
Hmm.
Not, is that
Richard Jefferson? No.
uh, jeez, Pete? What's his name? Richard Sherman. Sorry,
Yeah,
jeez,
yeah,
oh
yeah,
Pete,
yes. Richard Sherman.
not Richard Jefferson. Although fantastic job, not the best, but good job.
Yeah.
During the
Like Notre
finals.
Dame, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Richard Sherman's talking after a Super Bowl, after the Super Bowl and all this, and I was telling the guy at work, and I was like, dude, he's just like he speaks eloquently,
Hmm.
and he goes, man, that's a little racist.
Yeah.
And he's a black guy that was talking to me, and I was like, "What do you mean?" I was just saying he speaks well, like he sounds articulate, and he's like, "Yeah, but that just sounds like because he's black and he speaks regular, like
Yeah.
not regular, but he speaks in a without a ghetto tone that's racist." And I'm like, "Man, no, I'm just saying like."
Yeah.
You don't get that all the time. And it's not hit like Clay Matthews. I can't stand listening to Clay Matthews talk.
Chad Holmgren.
Chet Holmgren sounds terrible.
Yeah.
White chocolate. Jason
Jason
Williams.
Williams, yeah.
I can't like.
He just doesn't those guys just don't come across all that intelligent. And you don't have to
Yeah.
be super smart or you have a huge vocabulary, but just yeah, the way you speak it really does, a little bit of grammar,
Yes,
a little
it's the grammar.
yeah,
Just have correct grammar.
yeah. And it's yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect even. Just don't sound like just I don't know. It's hard to say because I know it's very much it's been that way for a long time. If you say anything about how well somebody speaks
Hmm.
and they're not white, that it sounds like you're saying normally I would expect them not to speak that way, but
Yeah.
they do. Um,
My thing is just basketball players in general.
yeah, yeah,
If you sound articulate and you're a basketball player, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
he's well
Or
spoken.
or any athlete or celebrity at all in anything. You just see their and just we're just talking about them because that's who you see on television and that's who you're exposed to. But I mean it really goes for anybody in life too.
Yes.
If I'm in a grocery store and people are walking by and talking crazy
Yeah.
and they're, which happens all the time. I go to the Western Hills Kroger.
Let's go. Right? Let's go.
Um, no, but yeah, it really does mean something, and that's what I I think about this all the time. I'm trying not to be so much like against this guy, but I do feel like just because like there's been a conversation about who's the face of the league and who, a few guys, and Anthony Edwards comes up a lot. And that's the difference between SGA and Anthony Edwards to me. Anthony Edwards seems very immature. He can't stop dropping F bombs in the media.
Hmm.
It's that kind of stuff, and he doesn't he's not articulate at all.
Hmm.
And but SGA is, and lots of other guys. Steph Curry for a long time. Even LeBron's not bad. I mean, sometimes it depends. Like sometimes he's not great.
I feel like
Sometimes he's fine.
LeBron's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. It really he's off and on to me sometimes. So
Yeah.
sometimes
Sure.
he's mostly good though.
Yeah.
He's mostly
Yeah.
good. But just the guys that you see that are, I don't know, it's so hard to explain without, especially when you're trying to be careful. But I'm 100% with you on this.
Yeah.
It's
Anyway, I
it's a lot
like,
more easy to root for the guys
yeah.
that seem like halfway intelligent, and that usually translates to
It
Jalen Williams is
and
that way too.
that's what sucks is like you say halfway intelligent. Like I'm not saying that people that don't speak clearly,
Yeah,
like you probably are intelligent. You
you don't
choose.
sound like it.
You don't sound like it. Exactly. You don't sound like it.
Right.
I don't know how your schooling is or what you've done in your life, but if
Mhm.
you don't sound articulate, then I'm gonna think a certain way about you. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
And there are times where I don't. I know I don't
Oh, sure.
because I'm not. Like I'm not acting like I'm above any of it. I'm
No,
just telling you.
nope. I have all kinds of problems speaking sometimes, but that's the way it is. And if anybody sees me speak like on this,
Hmm.
if Anthony Edwards watches this podcast, and I know he does, and thank you, Ant. But and he's like, these guys sound,
Constructive criticism, bud.
yeah, but maybe he's like, these guys sound like idiots. I'm like, okay, if
Oh,
that's what you think.
100%.
If that's what you think.
Yeah.
That's totally fine.
Yeah. It doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do that bothers
I
me.
don't know how we got on that, but congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder for winning the
I
NBA
don't know, but
championship.
that went into yeah, that like if we ever get popular, like if this ever gets big,
Mhm.
this is the episode that cancels us.
Sure,
Yeah,
probably.
probably,
That's all
probably.
right.
And yeah,
I don't need money.
if I'm not just, if you can't speak the truth, bud, right? Speak your own truth.
It
You know,
really
just
is.
be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't have anything. I do again, I do totally get why people could feel like there's a something involving race there, but it doesn't feel that way inside of me. I know that's the same way for you. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
if you carry yourself with some class and some decorum and
Yeah.
some intelligence a little bit, it's going to be very noticeable. And if you don't, it's going to be very noticeable.
And there's nothing wrong with in game, like getting raw
Oh,
and
sure.
gritty
In
and,
game's
and
totally
doing your
different.
stuff. But when you go to the post game, it's like, hey, yeah, we played really well. This happened. Da, da, da. It's that simple.
Yeah.
It's that easy.
Yeah.
I've caught myself losing what grammar
Hmm.
just in general, just because I get lazy.
Sure.
Happens all the time.
Yep. Yep. All right. Well, anyway,
Adam,
that's basketball.
it's been 3 weeks
It's been
since
three.
we've been here.
It's been, yeah.
What
So,
has happened with your life?
just, I got married. I've got two kids now.
Jeez, oh Pete.
Um,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
man,
D'Angelo is 12 and, you know, Janetta is 6 now. So, Um,
Janetta was that was from me. I appreciate you taking that name. That was a push from me. I was excited.
when you brought that name to me, I was like, that's not bad.
Yeah, not
That's
bad.
not bad
Not
at
bad.
all. And we
If we're gonna have a racist podcast, we might as well just go all in, right?
that's not Janetta, I don't feel like well,
No, you don't feel like in any way, shape, or form two white
I could
guys
see.
laughing about the name Janetta isn't doesn't have
I've
any
never heard of that name, so I didn't really think about
again,
it.
again.
Um, D'Angelo is a famous R&B singer, and
Maybe
he's
a little
black.
bit, maybe a little bit.
But
Yeah.
but
What else you got?
Will Ferrell's character in The Office, when he was in a few episodes of The Office, his name was D'Angelo.
Was it?
It
Yeah.
was D'Angelo Vickers. Um, yeah.
I don't know if that helped you or just made it what it is.
Those were just names that I was trying to think of. But yeah,
If you
I
were to
see what you're
have two
saying.
kids, your kids would be Janetta and D'Angelo.
They wouldn't be. They wouldn't be. Um,
We need to move on.
so anyway, besides the kids and
What
getting married,
else do we have?
nothing
Who
else really.
who'd you marry, Adam?
Uh,
Lakeisha?
no,
Okay, just
no.
wondering.
Her name is, um, her name is Bonnie, and she's Asian. So what do you think about that?
I just wonder if this is still recording.
It is.
Okay,
It
good.
is. Old Bonnie on there said recording in progress. So old
Adam,
Bonnie Janetta.
I had a good couple weeks, bud. We had played a lot of baseball in these
Hmm.
past few weeks.
You went on a big trip. I know that.
Missed week one, no, week two of the 3 week off time was in Branson, Missouri. It's mini Gatlinburg base or mini Pigeon Forge in the Ozarks instead of the Great Smokies.
Mm,
Dolly Stampede and go-kart tracks everywhere, upside down house, the whole deal.
okay.
That's what it is. So the baseball park is in the middle of all of it. Five stadiums that are two-thirds replicas of the originals. There's Ebbets Field, old
Oh,
Brooklyn. Old
that's
Brooklyn
cool.
is there.
Okay.
There's Fulton County Stadium, Kansas
Hmm.
City. There is Fenway Park. Is that Fulton County Stadium?
Atlanta, I think that's Atlanta.
Well, what
Kansas
is Kansas
City.
City?
That was it was Kauffman Stadium for a
Oh,
while, but
that's
is
it.
that it?
Kauffman. Yeah. Kauffman Stadium.
Okay.
Sorry. So Kansas City, uh, Boston, Fenway Park, Chicago, Wrigley Field,
Nice.
and St. Louis.
Riverfront Stadium. Oh,
No,
St.
St.
Louis.
Louis is their main field. They're 4 hours from St. Louis.
Ah.
Really cool. It was awesome. Tons of stuff for the kids to do. All the kids stayed with me and my dad in a bunkhouse right outside of Wrigley Field. So we just kind of walked out and you're at Wrigley Field watching whatever
Wow.
game's going on. They had fake ivy in the basket at the top, and home run derby was held there, and we did all kinds of stuff. Played 6 games, won seven, or sorry, won two, won 2 games. Should have won four.
Hmm.
Should have won four. Um, Place was awesome. If you are a coach or parent of a little league team or of a whatever baseball team, 12, 13, 11, 12, 13 years old, look at ballparks of America. Place is awesome. Place is just it was everything.
That sounds awesome.
I probably had the best time of my baseball life
Wow.
there.
That's
And
fantastic.
the games got over and they kept the lights on till midnight. So like some teams have 8 o'clock games, so they all go to bed and then, but if you didn't play till 2, it was like, let's go
Hang
find
out
a
and play
field.
around. Yeah.
And we played tons of blitz ball. My kids are all on like Blitzball is this new wiffle ball thing. I don't know if you've seen it. It's on
I think
YouTube
so.
all over the place. They're on all these YouTube channels now from these because they hired these professional blitzball players to make videos while they were there, and kids are in the background. My son, bunch of kids on my team are, they interview them and they put like they're on these huge, couple 100,000 follower people videos. So that was cool. They were there, but like the kids like one I'll never forget. It was one night. It was probably the coolest night I've ever had in my life. The farthest field away from everything was Kansas City, and nobody ever would be out there. So we're right outside of Wrigley. We're right in the middle, and there'd be like 8 teams on Wrigley trying to all play a game. And we all went to Kansas City, and there was nobody out there. And 4 or 5 kids, 6 kids are playing blitzball. 4, 5, 6 of us, we play what we call fungo golf,
Mm.
which is you have a ball and a bat, and you say it's a par three, got to hit the 201 220 sign on the other side of the field, and you just throw it up in the air and hit it. And you gotta, it's golf, but with a baseball. So like you gotta hit the pitcher's mound inside the um, bullpen. All right. It might be a par four. You got to go over a fence or something, right? Like we had, dude, I told the boys, it was just like dad had some issues. He had to go to the hospital one night.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Good to
Yeah,
go.
all right.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. So it was just me and the boys for one night. But that was the night. And I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever done. I just want all you boys to know this is the most fun I've ever had playing baseball.
Wow.
Listening to a bunch of 12 and 13-year-old boys jibber jabber and talk smack and just hang. It
That's
was
cool.
it was a lot of fun, man. It was a lot of fun.
Oh,
I will never forget it. And yeah, it was really cool.
that
Really
sounds
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
So since you guys have been back from there, you played some more baseball.
Yeah, we just played our next tournament, our last tournament was after it. We went 4-0,
Yeah.
won it. Found out that we won our league,
Yes,
the
sir.
gold. So it was gold, silver, and bronze. We won the gold in Southwest Ohio League. Congratulations to Jaeger Baseball 12U Wit.
Congratulations to
Let's
you.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've had a couple good weeks. We had tryouts last night. Probably gonna move on from a couple players, but try to get better. We've got fantastic families and yeah, man. That's what's going on.
Wow.
Got another tournament this weekend.
There you
Had
go.
tryout yesterday and tryout on Monday. And we're like, let's play a tournament in between. Screw it. Who
Yeah, I'm
cares?
I'm confused by all the timing of when you guys play and what seasons it is and
Yeah, we just play.
yeah.
Dude, there's no season for baseball anymore. We just play. And I hate being that guy. I do. I hate being that guy.
No, you don't.
But I don't push anybody into it. You
No.
know what I mean? And I don't threaten kids with playing time if they're not there. Like it,
You're like, I'm gonna be there. If you want to play, show up.
yeah, 100%. You got vacation, you got vacation,
Yeah.
man. Like it is what it is. Doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got a 4th of July tournament. This is officially last tournament of the year.
Oh, nice.
Officially the last tournament of the year.
So you guys play actually tomorrow
Yeah,
on
we
4th of
play
July?
on the 4th of July, 6 o'clock at Little Fenway. Not on Little Fenway, but the field right next to it.
Nice.
I guess. I'm a nice guy. We'll say that.
Oh,
Got a
you
call from the tournament director. The draw helps us if I play
okay.
that day.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Hmm.
All right. Good for
Yeah.
you. It sounds like baseball's going great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good.
yeah,
Pretty good.
good. Okay.
What
So,
about you? What's going on with you?
I mean, nothing. I've been working this new job since last time we talked, and that's going fine. It's
You were
going
learning
great.
some new stuff
Learning some new
as of
stuff.
last time we talked.
hmm
Are you fully involved in the new stuff? Can you be that guy's backup?
I am. Oh yeah, the phone
Yeah,
conference.
the
Did I tell
stuff
you
that
about
means
this?
no point. Yeah, it's a bunch of phone calls that could be done with Zoom way easier.
Yeah, I think so. So I did do it while he was out, and it mostly went fine. There was one that went very poorly,
Yeah.
and I guess I can. Yeah, I mean, there won't be any names, but
Yeah.
so there was a lady that called. So there are both parties call. It's just
Yep.
like a hearing, but it's just over the phone. So one person calls, you answer, figure out who they are, put them on hold, and then if the other person hasn't already called in, you call the other person. There are phone numbers on this list of who's supposed to be on.
Yeah.
So you call the other person and say, and sometimes it's a person who, like a litigant, they call it, or it's their attorney. And so it's much easier when it's the attorneys that are involved, when it's just the two attorneys that are going
Yeah.
to show up.
They're gonna be on the phone.
They
They're
know what they're
already.
doing. Right.
Yeah. There's no kids in the background.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they will call because you have to put everybody, transfer everybody together to the same line and then get them into the magistrate. So the attorneys will get on the line together first and then call you, so it's
Oh, okay.
already done, which is great.
Even better.
Yeah. So anyway, this was not the case for this one. Lady called. She said, "Okay, hold just a moment, please." So I try to call the guy. I get a some sort of recovery center or something like that. Okay. So and so is supposed to be on this call, this hearing. Can I talk to him through you guys, or how do I
What do I
get a
need
hold
from
of him? Yeah. So they put me on hold like 4 or 5 times. Kept getting transferred back to the operator because nobody was answering in legal or whatever. And then eventually a lady answered. So she puts me on hold. She's looking for him, I guess. Eventually she comes back on and says, well, I can't promise you anything, but we might be able to have him in like 5 or 10 minutes. So nope, they're not going to wait. Sorry. So we're just going to have to go on without him.
it?
So this is like 15 minutes after this hearing was supposed to start.
Okay.
This other lady's been on hold this whole time,
Just chilling.
just
Just
chilling,
doing her job. Doing what she's supposed not her job.
doing what she's supposed to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Called in
Trying to
and
keep
she's
the
there.
kids, right?
Probably something like that. I don't even know what it was about. But so then at that point, the magistrate that was going to be on that call thought it was because that's like the time limit. Like once you're 15 minutes in,
Hmm.
nobody calls, and that happens. People just don't call, and it's just basically canceled or whatever.
Hmm.
So she thought, well, it's 9:15, 9:20, whatever time it was. She's like, okay, well, or no, it was 11:30, so it got to
On to
be,
the next. Now we're at
yeah.
recess because it's
Well,
lunch.
it was lunch. She left and went to lunch, and so I'm trying to. So before I knew that, I go back and tell this lady, okay, well, we're not going to have the other guy, so I'm going to transfer you to the magistrate. Call the magistrate several times, can't get a hold of her, don't know where she's at. And
Been
so
eating.
she's eaten. She did
She
end
felt.
up being somewhere in the building eating, but not at her desk or not in her courtroom. So anyway, we're running around. This other lady's helping me now, trying to find this magistrate so we can try to get her on with this lady who's been on hold this whole time. Eventually, she comes back and says, magistrate says we're just gonna have to reschedule. I get to get back on the phone with this lady and say, we're gonna have to reschedule. You've been on
Oh.
hold for 20 minutes here.
Oh, just 20?
Yeah, it was
I
about
feel like it might be
at
longer than that by
at
this
that
point.
point at that point it was about 20,
Okay.
I think.
It's a long time.
It is a long time. And so I get back on and I tell her, and she sort of flipped out.
Sure.
She was very upset, which I completely understand.
Yeah.
She was telling me that she's starting to cry and she's mad, and she missed work for this today and missed out on all this money, and now she's going to have to miss another day because this happened, and she's got the final hearing's supposed to be in 2 weeks, and now that's probably going to get pushed back. So I'm trying my best to, like, say, nah, not necessarily. It's, they might be able to work something out with you. And she just is not, she's beside herself. And I'm running out of things to say,
Hmm.
and I'm trying not to, like, lie to her or anything, and I also am
Yeah,
new, so I really don't know what I'm talking
yeah,
about
you
all the
you
time.
you want to be honest, but but at the same time, you want to like diffuse the situation without
Yeah.
being incorrect.
Yeah. I honestly want to get her off the phone because she's really mad. And so anyway, so I had like she just kind of refused to accept it, and so I didn't know what else to do. I couldn't just hang up. But I tried to tell her like they will contact you about
Hmm.
rescheduling, and but she was just like she just had a lot to say, and so I eventually had to put her back on hold, and I went and found this other lady that does it sometimes, and I'm like, "I- what should I do here, you know?
Hmm.
And then so eventually one of the other gals took the call, and I think might have been able to reschedule with her right then. Like,
Did you listen to it to how she dealt with it?
no,
No.
but yeah, yeah. Anyway, so that was a big, huge thing, and it ended up being this lady ended up being 30 minutes on hold. And that was like going into lunch. And so that was like, I kind of got yelled at for the first time there, which apparently happens a decent amount, but
Yeah.
that was my first time. And
Not by
um
your boss, but by
no,
by a
a person that's
yeah,
there that,
yeah.
unfortunately going through something unpleasant. So anyway, so that happened, and that kind of messed my day up for the rest of the time. But
Yeah, you feel
went,
terrible.
yeah,
Yeah.
I did. So I went back after lunch and did a few more, and those went fine. So you know, shook it off and
Let's go.
on
On to
with
the
it.
next.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah,
Oh, that sucks, dude.
yeah. It wasn't fun.
That's all right though. It's gonna happen. Now you know it's gonna happen. Like
Yeah,
it is what it is, and the more it happens, the better you will get at diffusing the situation.
yeah. And if that ever happened again, that same situation, I just probably wouldn't wait as long as I did on hold with this whatever it was
Yeah,
recovery
just let
center
her
woman.
know early enough, like, hey man, here's the deal. This ain't happening. I got into a holding pattern with these people. We're gonna have to reschedule.
Yeah,
Just make
or
it
or just
or just get a hold of the magistrate right away.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
like
Yeah,
it's just gonna be you,
yeah, yep,
which is good for them.
yeah,
Probably better off.
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was kind of a mess there for a little bit, but that was fine, and everything else is going pretty well, and um, yeah. But that's the job. That's the
Love it.
job.
That's
So
awesome. That's
yep.
awesome. Adam, quick question.
Yep.
So yeah, we got a little bit of time. In your coaching life, we've talked about this before. It's
Okay.
been a couple years.
Okay.
I've not had to cut anybody in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
We are back to that time of the year
Mm-hmm.
where I have to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So here's my question for you. Okay, outside of high school, have you had any situations like that before
Hmm.
where you were cutting or
Outside of high school.
let me just put a scenario in front of you.
Okay.
I have a kid who plays in the same organization as me, but is not on my team,
Mm-hmm.
but is the same grade because we have two teams the same age, similar teams. They probably think they're better than us. I probably think we're better than them, but we don't play each other purposely. But this one singular kid shows up at my tryout. Heard in the past that he'd be interested in playing for us. How do you go about having that conversation?
Meaning this kid's not going to make your team.
Now, I would like to take him, but he plays
Hmm.
for the other team. He plays for the other team at the same age in my organization.
Yeah. Well,
The head coach of the other team is a friend of mine.
yeah.
He's a really good player on that team.
He showed up to your try out on his own accord. You didn't say, come
No,
try
I
out
never
or any.
talked to him one time.
Yeah. I mean, that's everybody's free to try out. Whoever your best player is could go try out for their team if they
Yeah,
wanted to.
100%. Absolutely.
How would you feel if your best player, if your friend called you and said, "Hey, so and so just tried out, and I mean, he would make my team." Would you call? First of all,
Adam.
would you expect him to call you?
Uh,
First that one.
that's a tough one. Probably I would expect him to call me, but there's
You
been a situation where he's asked like when we first joined the organization, they were already part of the organization. And nobody ever called me. He asked a player, my best pitcher, to come play for him in a tournament. We were done playing.
Hmm.
And he pitched him, which is big in baseball. That's like, that's innings on an arm. That's like we're very serious about our arms, right? Like you don't just throw somebody else's kid. If somebody subs for you, they usually don't pitch unless you get a hold of the coach and say, hey, can I throw him? If I do throw him, how many pitches can I throw him? Such and such and such.
you guys were done for the year or
I
done for this tournament or
I
whatever.
can't remember. This has been 3 years ago.
Okay.
So, but this dude did it to me where he took the kid, he took him out there. I never knew what was going on. Luckily, the kid's dad called me and was like, hey, I'm gonna let you know what's going on. But the guy never called me.
Okay. And you felt what about that?
I was irritated, a
Okay.
little irritated
Okay.
that I not that that he played with. I don't care. Yeah, you can go play. Dude, I'm all about kids go play. But, yeah, maybe let me know because if I have another tournament, if I've got something going on, I also may have some ideas on how many pitches to throw that kid because he's under my care as a coach. And then you're gonna pitch him. When do you even know the last time he pitched? Stuff like there's little weird things like that.
Okay.
Pitch counts, stuff like that. That's a real thing for these young arms, right? That was about 3 years ago. We've gotten closer since then,
Okay.
so that makes it even more difficult. I haven't talked to him. I didn't offer the kid a spot. I haven't talked to the other coach. I did talk to him, but I talked to him just about other kids trying out for him and me. Nothing about this other kid. Uh, Apparently there was a few other kids from his team that wanted to try out for mine, but he had gone to their house and like said, "Hey, please don't go over there. You made the team, blah blah blah.
Hmm.
You made my team, his team, his team." Uh, but the kids all wanted to come try out. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle this. I like the guy. He's a good dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good dude. And I'd consider him not a friend, but like we're close when it comes to sports stuff. Like, and we
Yeah.
agree a lot. Whew. Getting tough, bud, because I'd love to have this kid. I like the kid that showed up to my tryout, I'd take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
Well, that means that there's another kid that you won't take on your team. Is that correct? Or will you just add
It's
another
already done.
player?
No, it's already done.
Okay.
I'm
There's a
not worried about that. Yeah,
so
forget
there's
about that.
somebody that isn't going to make your team
There's
eligible.
two kids that probably will not be on my team next year that were.
Okay. Um,
And they don't want to leave my team.
mhm.
But yeah.
But then they would be free to, unless it was at the same time, they would be free to go try out for his team, right?
Yeah.
But they wouldn't, or there's,
No.
it kind of almost doesn't matter. Okay. So,
Neither of them are going to.
okay. There, I mean, you can do like the most respectful thing and call him and be like, "Hey, this kid tried out for my team. Did you know he was going to try out?" Something like that. And
Mhm.
then I mean, he tried out and I definitely have a spot for him. Would you,
So
there's nothing you
let's do
it
this. How
doesn't
about
sound like
this?
you owe him any
I don't
even
know.
now.
I don't know him anything.
Yeah.
I don't know him anything. If anything, it would just be respect,
Yeah.
which I have for him. I did ask the kid to play with me this weekend because I'm missing two kids. So I was like, hey, you just want to play this weekend?
Oh, you should pitch
No,
him.
he's not a pitcher. He's not pitching
I'm
anyway.
just kidding.
He's not pitching anyway. No, I like that, but no, no. He took my best pitcher, who was my best pitcher at the time, picked him up in a tournament, and then threw him in the very first game, 5 innings,
Well, it
60s.
sounds like that's what he was picking him up for.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Been
there you
nice
go.
to have a phone call.
I got you. Okay.
Just saying. Just
All
saying.
right.
Am I holding the grudge? Is this a grudge that I'm holding from them?
I don't think it's a
I've
grudge.
coached with this guy.
Huh.
Like we've coached together in other sports.
Mhm. It's okay if that still bothers you.
Yeah.
But then you know that you don't want to do the same thing to him because you don't want him to feel the same way. So
Yeah. Yeah.
you're gonna do the right thing, I
Yeah.
guess, or respectful thing.
I asked the kid to play with me this weekend.
Hmm.
They're done with their season. I'm missing 2 kids. Come play. But 100%, I'm gonna have that conversation and just be like, I don't think a kid's leaving him anyway. So, but I'll say, hey, what's going on? Let me know because I would like to. I'll take him if he's leaving.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I got a spot for him. He tried out,
Hmm.
but I just wanted to get your take on it because I like you and I respect
Yeah.
you, and uh,
Is it okay to say that though? Like, hey, here's the deal, bud. If I'm just letting you know he came to tryouts, I'd offer him a spot right now, but I wanted to talk to you first.
yeah,
But is it fair to the kid to not have a conversation with him if he maybe wants to play for me, but me talk to this coach and go, I won't say I'm not going to do anything if if you're there, and then the kid doesn't get offered a spot from me, but he wanted to play for me, and then he ends up going back and playing for the same coach that he's been playing for and would have rather played for me. I mean, that's not fair to the kid, right? It's all about the kids. It's not about us. It's not about
right.
me. It's not about us.
That's
It's
what I was
about
gonna,
the kid.
that's what I was gonna say.
Should
You're
I talk to the kid and the parents first?
well, the phone call first with the other coach isn't really a can I take him? That's your choice. You're just I'm just calling you to say he tried out. I have a spot for him. I just out of respect because I know he's been playing with you. I just want to,
Let you know I'm
let you
about
know.
to do this.
I mean I think that's the
And what's
most
he?
right
He's going to
thing.
try to talk me out of it.
Okay. That's where I was going. So is that what's going to happen? Like,
Yeah,
is he
100%. He's one of the top 3 kids on his team.
that's a conversation he has to have with that kid and his parents, though, not with you. It's not him for him to talk you out of it. He tried out for your team. He made your team.
So do I offer that kid a spot first before I talk to him and let the parent or the kid make that decision? Or do I have that this is my point is like I would love to go to him first, but that's not fair to the kid because if he talks me out of it, then I don't offer the kid. Now the kid goes back and plays over there. What if he wanted to play for me?
That's why I think it's not a matter of talking you in or out of it or making some deal or anything. It's just that kid tried out for your team and he
Hey,
made
he
it.
came and tried out. He made my team.
Yeah.
I just want you to know I'm going to offer him a spot.
Yeah.
I want to give you the heads up
Mhm.
so you can make a phone call and try to do what you need to do.
Yeah. If he wants to,
But
yeah.
if he wants to come play for me, I'm going to take him.
Yeah. That's 100. I think that's to me, unless I'm not because it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm not thinking clearly. I think that's the best thing to do.
Okay.
You're just making a respectful phone call that you don't even really owe him, but you're just a nice guy and you guys work closely together
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So, but offer the kid the spot, give him the spot,
Yeah.
and maybe talk to his parent. Like, you know his parents well, or
Very well.
talk to his parents and maybe that's who you talk to first and be like, what is he? I'm offering him a spot. Is he gonna? And maybe even
He's
talk to him.
playing with me tomorrow.
Okay.
So maybe that's when I sit down and go, hey, you two come here.
Is yeah.
Let's be honest about this. I'd love to have him. I don't want to mess with what's going on. But if Connor wants to come play, I'll have the conversation. I want to let him know. But Oh, did I just drop it? Dang on, I made it this whole time.
Uh, you said Darren. Darren?
Mac Miller. So yeah, yeah, just like,
So the kid's name is D'Angelo. What's his last name?
Jeanette.
D'Angelo Janetta. I got you. I got you. So this kid. Okay. So now everybody knows his name.
Yeah. As
Okay.
fast as lightning.
Oh, God.
Super,
Does he speak well?
super athlete.
Okay. Okay. All
Needs a little help on the grammar.
right. Okay. Now we're definitely in trouble. Um, no, but for real.
Theo
This,
Vaughn's podcast is way worse than that.
yeah. Um, yeah, maybe talk to his parents first and be like, I feel like just out of respect, I want to tell them out of respect, I just want to call this other coach and let him know, and then see what they say about that, or see if they've already talked to him about it. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe the dad's already or the mom's
Already
already
had the
mentioned it to him.
conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
get a feel for it.
All right. All right. That's how I'm going to go about it. I'm going to wait tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
Mhm.
We play. I'm going to grab mom, grab dad, whoever's there
After the game,
before.
before, okay,
I'll do it before. I'll talk to them. I'm not going to talk to the kid.
yeah,
Talk to them before
yeah,
and just be like, hey, here's the deal. I want him on the team.
hmm,
I'll take him. I'll talk to Eric. I'll talk to his coach, let him know what's going on. And but
now I know who it is.
I, I thought I made it pretty clear with some of the other hints that I was making to you. But
I didn't catch it.
I will I'll do whatever I gotta do, but is this a real thing? Like I've heard that he would like to. If he does, it should be his decision. And first off, the other coach is a lot like me. If that's what you want to do, dude, it's cool. Like he's gonna be okay with it. It's gonna hurt,
Sure.
and it's because it's gonna hurt his team,
Yeah.
but it's not gonna hurt him personally with the families or anything. It's just, and it
Good.
would never hurt me personally with families. I'm
Sure.
totally cool with all that.
Yeah.
Do what's best for your
'Cause
kid.
there's way more to it than the coach that you're playing for. That's a big part of it,
Sure.
but there are other dynamics.
There's other reasons why it's happening. It's not all about the coach.
Yeah, yeah.
It's about competition. It's about position. It's about there's a whole
Yeah.
the amount of games. There's a lot of stuff that's involved.
Yep.
Anyway, all right, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go about it. I'm going to go about that route.
I
And I did a terrible job. I almost made it all the way through without saying a single name, and I dropped both coach and player's name.
Here's the thing. By the
Only
time
first names though.
Yeah, by the time this comes out too, you'll have, I probably won't get out till sometime tomorrow, and before anybody hears it, you might even have this conversation.
Yeah.
Depends on when people listen
So do
to
you
it.
think I talk to the parent before I call the coach?
Now I'm thinking, yeah, I'm thinking you feel it out with the parents first, see if they've talked to the coach and see
If
see
they've
what
talked
they
to the
think.
player or the coach and just see where and like it's totally cool. Like if this isn't it and he just came to the tryout and just wanted to be there,
Yeah,
totally cool.
yeah,
Okay. That's how I'm gonna go about it.
yeah.
That's how I'm gonna do it. And then I'll call him on the 4th of July when the fireworks are going off and be like,
I stole your
uh,
kid. No.
no, yeah, exactly.
No.
Exactly. All right. I like it. That sounds good. All right. So let's do this.
Yeah.
We have 15 minutes to get through the Mount Rushmore and um
We have two
comedy.
minutes.
Comedy.
No,
Well,
I'm just kidding.
2 minutes to get to the last 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Because we said we want to end it at 12:15, latest 12:30.
Yeah.
Well, we said 12:30 was an hour, but try to get to
Right.
12:15.
Yeah.
All right.
Was there
So
was there something else you wanted to do before the
I
Mount
don't know.
Rushmore?
Was there? What else did we talk about?
Oh no, I was just saying if we have 2 minutes before we need to get to the
I don't have anything. Do you have it? What else do you have that we need to talk about?
nothing.
The Reds are up and down. My bet, remember my bet, my road dog or my home dogs.
Yep.
I'm up $800.
Holy cow.
Halfway through the season, up $800.
Wow.
I've increased my bet from $2 to $5 to $7 to $10 to $12 to 15. I'm at $15 a bet, which means if they lose, I have to bet $30. And if they lose the second game, I have to make a $60 bet on one team to win, who is the underdog in the game.
Mhm.
And I am up $800. And I said when I get to 1,000, it'll be a $20 first bet. So my first day, my first bet's going to be the whole point is, I mean, as I make money, as this continues to work, I'm going to increase my bet if it's still working.
Okay.
So it's worked so far.
Worked so far.
I'm up eight. I started with $120. I have $890. So
Wow.
a little less than 800, but
Still.
really close.
Man, that's big time.
Yeah. I think next year's podcast, when baseball starts, we're gonna start doing this. We're gonna go
Cool.
over it. We're gonna talk about it
Okay.
every week, and we're gonna make a lot of people money.
Okay.
I've I've got a following now.
Okay, good.
I'm basically the Godfather.
Yeah.
My dad just joined in this past week.
Is that right?
Yeah, just joined in. I've got a group of probably 7 guys, and those 7 guys each have their own little group that they've told about it.
Oh,
Dude,
pyramid scheme.
bro, I if I could just make $1 off everybody's winning bet, I'd be driving a Lambo.
That's right. Man, good for you.
It's working. This is the
Congratulations.
legit system. I have not made a single bet on anything else. So all the money in my account is straight from that. All the other guys in my little group, they take all their winnings and bet on stupid parlays and lose a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Me, I'm like, I am trying to make money.
So, but
I want to make 2 to 3 grand by the end of the year. That's my goal. $2,000 to $3,000.
when do you? Okay, so that's do you have a number that you're gonna stop and take so much money out and like put that in like a regular bank account or use it for
Yeah, and
vacation or
end of
whatever?
the year,
That's it.
I'm gonna cash whatever I got. I'll cash it down to
Oh,
probably
end of the
200
baseball
bucks.
season.
End of the baseball season, I'll
Yeah.
cash it down to like $200.
Okay.
So September, 2 months away.
Okay. If you get to a point where it starts to go sideways on you and you start to go down, is there a point? Do you have a number there that you're like, well, okay, now this is trending. This is
Hundred and
trending down.
twenty dollars.
Okay.
That's what I started with.
Sure. But you've made all this money if
It's
you've
free money, babe. That's OPP, baby. It's
but isn't that why you're
OPP.
doing it?
It's
Trying to make
OPP.
money? You're not making money if you let it go all the way back down. That was your goal.
Hey, you
Make
got to
money.
figure out how it works. You know what I mean? This is just at this point in time, it's other people's money.
Betting doesn't make sense.
This is other people's money. I'm not
It's
going to
not.
lose money.
But
I ain't going to lose money.
but
But
you
I could have a whole lot of fun for a year and never lose a dime.
Well, but you are losing. You have $800 that you could cash out right now. So
I
you
could,
are losing money if you don't, if you let it all go back
but it's
down.
not my money. I made all
It
of
is.
this money.
It is your
Yeah,
money.
it is my money. But I'm not losing it. This is
Okay.
working. It's a system that works.
You don't want to pick a you don't want to pick a if 2 or 3 thousand is your goal or whatever you get whatever you reach by the end of the baseball season. You wouldn't say $800 or $600 once it gets if it gets back down to that. You're like, you
Yeah,
know what? I'm
yeah.
gonna
If
take that out.
if I get the 2 grand, I'll put a G back in the. I'll take a G out.
Okay.
I'll take
Okay.
a G out. Sit on a G. You got to have a bankroll in this though,
Well,
because if
if
you
you
got
started with
8 teams,
120,
yeah,
if you got
yeah,
2,000,
and
take out $1,900.
but I was betting $2 back then. I'm making more money every bet now because I increased my bet because it's working.
Okay.
So, but in order to do that, you got to have a bankroll on the backside, right? Because like, let's say there's 8 home dogs, and I bet them all. And let's just say they're at $10 a piece. That's $80 right there. Boom, $80. That's I lose. every game. Let's say all 8 teams lose. Now I have to bet $20 on all 8 teams the next day, right? That's
Mhm.
$160 I now have to bet. Now I'm $240 down. I gotta have a bankroll. Now, let's say they all hit,
Well,
boom, I made a bunch of money, or half of them hit. I'm making a little bit of money back. But I gotta have that bankroll to be able, I gotta be able to lose to be able to make the bet.
but if it starts trending down again,
It's never trended down.
it's not. No, it hasn't. If it did for some
So
reason,
let's chill with the again. Let's calm down with the
did I
again.
say again?
Yeah, if it trends down
I think I meant
again. Yeah,
again,
I'm
like I
just
said
saying,
before.
like, let's whoa. Whoa,
But wouldn't
whoa.
you're talking about the bankroll? Wouldn't you like? Couldn't you, in order to not lose so much, couldn't you kind of start back over with $2 bets again? Like,
100% I could, but then I'm not making as much money either.
well, sure.
The whole point is to make as much money as I can. And if it works, and I'm halfway through the season right now, and I'm like just reining in money, why would I cash it all out and start back at $2 bets?
Because you've made all this money.
So you like that's the whole like
Uh,
gamblers that make that make the most money when something's working, they increase their bet.
okay, that's fine.
When there's when you
And
get
I'm
into a groove, you increase your bet to make more money.
and I'm talking
And
about
as
if
you lose, you bring it back down.
that's what I mean.
Yeah, 100%. If I were to like lose twice in a row and I got myself down to like 750, then boom, I'm back down to a $12 bet.
Okay,
And then I go down to
that's
a
what I was
20.
asking.
Yeah, I would tone my bet down with how much money I have,
Okay,
which is why I need the bankroll. I ain't cashing out till it's over. I
okay,
already told Aaron, she'd like to have it. Trust me.
sure.
She would love to have a few $100, but no, I ain't messing around, man. Because if I get to a G, I go to $20. And the higher my bets get, the faster my money grows.
Sure.
Just saying. Just
Okay.
saying. And then I may not make another bet.
But also the faster,
I may not make another bet until the very first series of next baseball.
sure.
And I might do this again.
Yeah. If it works out for the rest of the year,
I
certainly.
I feel like I could make hundreds of thousands of dollars off of this if I had the money to do it.
If this is happening, isn't if this is successful, isn't aren't the odds makers just going to
I,
change?
so what do they do? Just make less home underdogs? Because we've had a week where there was only 2 home underdogs. They both hit. The very next week there was 8 home underdogs.
Mhm.
All they got to do is win of the one game in the series. That's it.
Hmm.
If you get swept, you lose. I lose right now. I would lose 15 plus 30 is 45 plus 60 is $105. Let's say they get swept. If somebody got swept in 3 games, I would lose $105.
Mhm.
It's a lot of money. But and it's happened. Like we just had one the other day. We just had one a couple weeks last week. But there were 7 of them altogether. I made a ton of money. I got swept in one series and I still made money that week.
Mhm.
Still made money. It
That's
worked.
good.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
I'm
Good for
I'm
you.
I'm gonna make you money.
Here
Let's make money.
here's
I'm just trying to help people out. This Tony Pike. I gotta give it to Tony Pike's the one who put me onto this.
is that right?
Yeah. Cincy 360 on opening day.
Yeah. Okay, so here's my gambling thing lately. So I was sitting there before game 7 of the NBA finals and I get into my
Oh
app
no.
and I ended up making I think it was 11 different bets on that game.
Was one of them that Tyrese Halliburton would have three threes?
One of them was Tyrese Halliburton being the high scorer of the game.
Ah.
One of them was highest assist, I think,
Ah.
and I think that might have been the only two with him.
Ah.
Um,
Three threes would have been a good one.
three threes would have been a good one in the first 3 minutes or whatever it was. Um, okay, no, so I made like 11 bets, all $1 bets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, So there were some bets that I was gonna make like 95 cents if I won, right?
Sure.
And then, a few that were I was, I'd make
$3.
$3, maybe $7 or $8 on the longer odds ones, but um lost all 11. But I lost $11
Yeah.
on 11 bets.
Yep.
So I'm probably on a hiatus from
That's okay.
gambling
And
for
I get it. I get it. I would be, if this didn't work, I'd be on one too. Instead, I have a notebook and I have every game and I have every series, when they start, when they end, who won, how many wins, how many losses. I
Wow.
have everything written down because this is no longer gambling. This is now making money.
Okay. I see. I see what you mean. Good. I hope you continue to make money on this.
Me too. And so does everybody else. That like we get to that game 3. We'll have one team left and it's game well, the other oh my God, this is crazy. So right before so we go to Missouri and there's no betting in Missouri.
Oh.
So I got all these dads, all these people, and it's like can't bet. Apparently there were 7 and they all hit on day 2 or 3. Day 2 or 3 is when you make your most money. Like
Mhm.
we would have killed. Didn't hit it, didn't get to do it. Week before that was the first time we ever had a 4-game series. So 12, I was betting $12 at the time. 12, lost. 24, lost. 48, lost. $96 I bet. I bet a team to win. I think it was the Rangers to beat out like the Dodgers. I put $96 on them to win. 90, I bet 96. Like that's the dumbest. And you know when I did it, look at that. You see that? Not even a shake because that's how confident I am in this system. I hit $96. My hand didn't shake at all. Bam, smoke it. Guess who won? Bam, let's go.
Got it, huh?
$240.
Wow.
I hit on that son of a gun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. So you made $240. You bet let's see, 36. Um oh no, it would have been okay. So you bet 36 on the no,
No, 12, 24.
that's
That's
36.
36.
48.
36 plus, yeah.
Okay. So that's what,
I
84
made,
or something like that.
in the end, I think we made, I want to say like $32.
Okay.
But when you bet $96 on a game,
Yeah.
big boy, and did it like, oh, just boom, just let's go. 96, boom, let's do it. That's
Mm.
it. Trust the process.
Trust the process.
Trust the process.
Speaking of trust the process, that is exactly what they did in Oklahoma City a few years ago when they were
Yes.
not a good team at all. And they put one together pretty quickly, and it's worked out through trades and drafts. And um,
They're calling this general manager the greatest of all time.
Sam Presti. Um, okay, so we have that takes us to our Mount Rushmore of Sonics slash Thunder, right? So anybody in the franchise's history, I guess, since they were the Seattle Supersonics, and now that they are the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yes. Look at this. This is what's going on. This is in the betting app already for tomorrow. New series starts tomorrow because we had a day off today because we hit so early in the series. All of our teams hit already. 12-18. Boom. Somebody in the ladder already told me who the 3 teams are that start tomorrow. Guardians, Nationals, Marlins.
Very nice.
Dude, I'm telling you. You want to make money?
It's working.
I got you,
Working
baby.
out.
I hook you up, baby.
Maybe
I
I'll have
hook
to
you up,
start
baby.
in there.
I can hook you up. You start with $2 bets. 2, 4, 8, 16. Boom. But I mean, never gets to a game 4, but 2, 4, 8.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. The problem is I don't have a bankroll right now.
You know, yeah, but that's
I think I might be down to like $11.
right. So go 1, 2, 4, 8.
There you go.
1-2-4. I'm just trying to make you money, homeboy. I'm just
Yeah,
trying to make you money.
I appreciate that.
All right, go ahead.
Um, okay, Mount Rushmore of Seattle Supersonics slash Oklahoma City Thunder. Um, do you have your four? Do you want me to try going first? Yeah, I marked my four. How do you want to do this?
Go, yeah, you start.
Okay. I'm going. So this is going to be teammates here. I am going to go with the no, sorry, the second Sonics team that was really good. They never won a championship, but they did play in the 93, no, 96, 96, yeah, 96 NBA Finals with Sean Kemp and Gary Payton and several other folks, Detlef Schrempf and uh, Sam, what's his name? Sleepy Sam with the left-handed jumper from North Carolina. Um, Sean Kemp and Gary Payton are the first two on my list. Sean Kemp and Gary Payton.
For real?
Hmm.
Out of everybody that
Not
ever played,
not the first
I
two.
mean, just you put Sean Kemp and Gary Payton in there.
I did.
That's so weird. If you go through the whole list, that's who you took.
Okay, I see what you're doing. Okay. Sean Kemp, Gary Payton, the glove. And
Yes.
then I'm going Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook as my other two. So there you go.
So you never got to SGA, who actually won a title for him.
Yeah, well,
The
first
only
of all,
one in
he
all
hadn't
the
won a
only
title yet when
we,
I did this.
so it does that make a difference?
uh, well, no, because
MVP of the season.
but he's been there for 2 or 3 years or whatever. These guys have full careers on
Okay.
that team,
Okay.
and then
Okay. Yeah.
every one of those guys played in the finals for the Sonics
Sure.
or the Thunder.
So we're very similar. Sean Kemp and Gary Payton, without a doubt. Like those two, like Sean Kemp might be number one.
Mm,
He's my favorite Seattle Supersonic to ever play.
okay.
NBA Jam,
Yeah.
Sean Kemp could dunk from the 3-point line.
Yeah.
He was insane. And the glove, you couldn't get by him in NBA Jam. Those two in NBA Jam were they were good. That was like there's a few that there's what three it's like Super Tecmo Bowl, right?
Yeah.
There's three or four teams and you're like, I got you, bro. I'm winning with one of these teams.
Yeah.
Same thing in NBA Jam, right? And the Supersonics were 100% one of those teams.
Yeah.
100%. Uh you know what what do the kids say now? Low key,
Mm-hmm.
low key good team in NBA Jam.
Who's that?
Phoenix Suns.
Dan Marley and Barkley?
I was gonna
Or
say
Kevin
Kevin Johnson
Johnson?
and Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember when was it the second NBA Jam where you got to pick from three? They put three people from every team and you got to choose two of the three.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of because I think Dan
Because
Marley
Dan
was one
Marley
of them.
was the other one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the one before that was just KJ and Barkley,
Okay.
right?
Might have been. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I feel like it.
Yeah.
But KJ was, I mean,
He was nice.
underrated. Dude, you don't ever hear his name put out there.
Yeah.
He was good.
He was good.
Would not be on the Mount Rushmore of Supersonics. Absolutely, Gary Payton, dude, still talks to this day in the Big Three League, and it
Yeah.
gets annoying. Like, why
Yeah.
are you getting in a fight with somebody on the court? Gary Payton, Sean Kemp, Kevin Durant, absolutely Kevin Durant. I am not going to put Russell Westbrook on there. I am not going to put James Harden on there, but I am going to put SGA. He won the title. He did what he needed to do. I think he puts himself into that spot
Okay.
as just as of today.
Fair enough.
I'll put him there.
Yep. Okay. Very good. Did you have anybody else that you were considering or anything like that?
Detlef Shempf or Schrempf.
Bremp. Yeah.
There was an R. Yeah.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
name was Detlef.
Detlef Schrempf, Ray Allen, Dennis Johnson, Dale Ellis, Jack Sigma, Tom Chambers. These guys are all really, really good.
Ray Allen, if he would have stayed, Ray Allen wasn't good enough on his own to just be there for a couple years.
Mm.
You know what I mean? He wasn't that star. If
Eh,
he played a full career there and was the same player he was throughout his whole career, then yeah, maybe. But he wasn't like he didn't turn the dial when he was in Seattle.
okay.
Is that fair? Is that not fair?
That's fair. I mean, I would probably say he was more valuable to their franchise than like James Harden was. Um,
I'm fine with that.
yeah. Um, yeah. Yeah.
But definitely I would say Westbrook is definitely the next guy.
Yeah.
I mean, there was years, I mean, what everything he did on his own after Harden and KD left, yeah, insane.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
Is
That
it
was
fair to say the triple double is annoying?
is annoying.
So if this dude averaged 29 and 9, that's like nobody cares. But if he averages 20, 10 and 10, all of a sudden it's unbelievable.
I mean, it's obviously almost as valuable 29 and 9 than 20, 10 and 10, but it's yeah, just because
I think that's what annoys me.
mm, I I unfortunately am such a sucker for the triple double. I get excited about them, but it doesn't. I mean, there are guys who have had triple doubles, and people accuse what Russell Westbrook of this all the time that are like, okay, he had 20, 10, and 10. Either they lost or
Hmm.
so what?
Or you'll see him
Or
sprint in from like the 3-point line to steal a rebound from a big guy. Like
that's what people say too. I never really bought into that. I don't know.
I've seen it.
If he goes and gets the yeah, but he doesn't really steal he just goes and gets the rebound. I mean, that's how you get rebounds. You gotta go to the rim. I don't
Sure,
know.
sure, I get you. Yeah.
If whatever, if Steven Adams like is about to get the rebound, he sees Russell Westbrook and he puts his hands down. I don't think I ever saw that, but I don't know. The team needs to get the rebound. Whoever gets
It's
the
all
rebound
matters,
is fine.
right? It's all
Yeah.
matters, except it meant a little bit more to him to get that rebound. So
That's why he's so good.
that's
It
why
meant a little bit
it
more to
meant
him.
more to him. I totally agree. Let's go on to comedy.
Yeah.
So comedy, I can't remember who was in charge. Was it me or you?
Um, these were your picks. Yeah.
Both of them were.
Yeah.
Okay. We did Mike Birbiglia.
That's right.
Yes. On Netflix, and it was called
The Good Life.
The Good Life. So it's
Do you
been
remember 2.5 years ago when we
God,
when
it's
we
been
watched
so
it?
long. So I think I told you I told you kind of how I felt about it before we got here. Mike Birbiglia is he might be one of the best storytellers out there.
Yeah.
He's extremely self-deprecating and just hilarious in so many ways. I think this was a really, really funny special, and I know the number because I've had it in my head for 3 weeks now. So I'm not going to talk myself in or out of it. I'm going to go straight to my point,
Okay.
which is Mike is hilarious. I laughed multiple times. Very good at what he does. No closer irritated me to no end.
Mm.
The speech at the end, it wasn't even a speech, it was just, his conversation about his dad and his kid and all this stuff. Like, I get it. That's like, yeah, it's sad and all this other stuff. It's a comedy show, bud. Like, we need to end on a finisher. Like that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
That being said, I get it. It's your special. You do you. If I'm going to rate it though, I'm going to rate it based on different things, and one of them is the fact that there was no closer,
Yeah.
none whatsoever, and the whole thing was funny. He did a great job, really funny. No closer. I'm gonna go 3-9. I'm gonna keep it under the 4 because it really was good. Like legit, I laughed the whole way. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
No finisher kept me under a 4.
Hmm. Okay. Um, we've talked about this before. It's almost his specials are now almost one man shows instead of comedy specials. They're
I
it's
okay.
comedy.
Yeah, but the way he does it, yeah, what you're right. You're right. You're right about that.
Um,
Think about Mike Tyson and all those dudes. It's a big story
yeah,
and it's little pieces to make you laugh about the story.
yeah.
That's very true. I like that.
And Mike Birbiglia is gonna make it more of a comedy than than anybody else who does a one man show that's not
Sure.
a professional
Right.
comedian, right?
Mick Foley does a one man
Sure.
show.
Yep.
Those guys, yes.
Yep. Um, so yeah, thinking about it that way, you understand why he might not have, the traditional closer. Also, it is still a comedy special, and that's what we want. We want the we want the big bang at the end, the big
Hmm.
callback, something that's gonna supposed to be the big, the drop the mic kind of thing.
Hmm.
And you're right, it wasn't there. And it's fun to hear even the serious parts about his life and his relationships with the people in his life. It's still fun to hear about that stuff.
Yes.
Even when it's like sad stuff or whatever. But yeah, I want the closer too. I want
Dude,
something really
it
funny.
means something to me. To
Yeah.
especially when you go, it was 5, 6 minutes of this build
Hmm.
with his dad and his kid and where they live, all these things. It was 5 or 6 minutes of a build.
And you start to feel it because you know how far
'Cause I,
along in this.
and I know how Mike does it, dude. Mike does that throughout the whole show where he goes 5, 6 minutes of these really heartfelt stories and it's here, hit on my you, hit on my and then he tells it and he hits you with that, and you're like, oh, that was hilarious. Great job.
Yeah.
To end into nothing. To end into nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. It would.
You're too good, Mike. You're too good at this.
Yeah. He. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it was very captivating for the audience that was there,
Yeah.
but yeah, just tough to. You're really being held hostage by your phone there, by your phone cord. Okay. Anyway, I felt the same way about it. Mike Birbiglia is very funny. He's really, really good at it. And you can see I don't have a pen in my hand, so this was already written down. No, I have one, but this was already written down for me. What's that say? Do you see it?
3.9. Let's
3.9.
go.
3.9.
Often we agree.
Yeah.
I feel like we are always within point 0.2 80% of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Or at least within like a half a point, one way or another. Yeah.
I feel like half a point's a lot though.
It can be.
I feel like we're really, really close 80% of the time.
Yeah, you're right.
What were we last week? I feel like we were
Well,
close last week.
last week is
It's like
last month.
3 weeks ago.
Last
Last
month,
month.
I was at a 4, you were at a 4 too.
Boom.
Big J.
That was Big J's they or them or
Yeah.
they or there or us or them or whatever it was.
Right. Okay.
All right. So that was me. Both of those were mine.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do anything.
You don't have to do anything.
I'd be happy to if you want me to.
No,
Or you already got them.
I got them. Our comedy, there are so many new specials.
I feel so bad about the last three. This is the craziest time of my life, and I feel so
Really
bad.
busy.
I feel so bad.
No, you don't have to feel bad. Especially don't feel bad because I'm really excited about this one. Joe List came out with a new special. It's called Small Ball. Love a sports reference in the title.
Yes,
Small Ball.
especially from Joey Schmidt.
Joey Schmidt.
When Joe Schmidt comes out with a new special, I'm always excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I can't help it. I'm going to tell you right now, every time Joe List pops onto my phone, I immediately think Joe Schmidt.
Yeah,
It's mannerisms, it's
they're both
speech,
tall and lanky. They
it's,
both have
I,
glasses. I don't know.
there's more than that. I feel
Yeah,
like there's more than that. I feel like they have the same sense of humor too.
maybe. Yeah,
You would know that better than me.
I think Joe. I think my brother appreciates Joe List's comedy.
I hope he does because they're very similar.
Yep. Joe List Small Ball is on YouTube. And then for the Mount Rushmore, man, I wrote a few things down. I don't feel great about any of them, but and I think we like to and we try to do positive stuff as much as we can on these.
Mhm.
But I'm starting to think about we got to figure out more topics here, and it's getting hard.
Sure.
So I think I'm gonna go with a Mount Rushmore of worst movies.
Oh, gee.
Worst
You
movies.
have to have seen him.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what comes to mind right off the bat. What was the
No.
Martin Lawrence movie that me and you went to the Danbury to go watch and it shut off in between? He was like a knight or something in the middle of a movie. Like it was, I don't know if it was a dream, but he was like a knight, and in the middle of the Danbury Theater, the movie went out
I
and
totally
it
forgot about that.
sucked. The whole time it sucked, and then the actual movie went out and you paid $2 for it, so you couldn't even be mad. And you're
Yeah.
like, well, we went to the Danbury. What'd you think was gonna happen?
That's true.
I gotta figure out what that was called. I'm
I
gonna
feel
look
like
that up.
night something with night in the title, I feel like.
Oh my God, that was so bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
Um, yeah.
Back in the day when we would jump in the S10 and just roll.
Yeah, that's right.
Back in yes,
Yep.
yes. All right, so we have worst movies
Hmm.
for Mount Rushmore and Joe List Small Ball.
That's right.
Until next week, don't forget to turn your headlights on.